But Mark, the microphone is yours. Can you please confirm all today's results for us?
Barclays Premiership. Charlton Athletic 1, Manchester United 3, Chelsea 3, Newcastle United 0, Liverpool 3, Portsmouth 0, Manchester City 0, Blackburn Rovers 0, Sunderland 1, Aston Villa 3, Tottenham Hotspur postponed, West Ham United 1H, West Brom 0, Everton 0, Wigan Athletic 2, Arsenal 3.
Sorry, Mark.
Yeah, sorry.
We're just saying we're delighted you're reading the results for us, but we're delighted you wrote that piece of music. What is the background to the theme from Sparta FC?
I don't know.
Just kidding.
You're a big City fan?
No, it's mythological, it's Greek.
OK. You're a big Manchester City fan, and now what did you make of your team's performance this afternoon? I don't know if you managed to watch much of it, and what do you think about City this season?
Hopeless as usual.
Really?
I want to ask you, Ray,
yes?
why have you got a #1 haircut? It's like what the people in murderers in Strange Ways get.
Mark,
you look like an escape from Strange Ways. I'm serious.
Yeah.
It's a #1.
Yeah, I don't have much choice. It just goes this way. It's like
who told you that? The makeup department.
He's gone for your stubs.
I'm not sure I should be wearing a wig.
Yeah, we are the fallen, we are the best. Yeah, we are the fallen, we are the best. Yeah, we are the fallen, we are the best.
The frustration is when people embellish what you're doing. I thought this LP was perfect around March, but when you trust people, them who shall be remain nameless, to go away and mix it, and it comes back sounding like Doctor Who meets Posh Spice, you have to go back and strip it down to basically what it was. Welcome back to We Are the Fall. I'm Gavin.
And I'm Steve.
And today we're diving into this album that Marky Smith is talking about in this quote, which is the Real New Fall LP, formerly known as
Country on the Click.
And Steve, that's Mark pretty much talking to the press and laying, telling them the lay of the land, which was a leaked version of this album came out before the album was properly released. And for whatever reason, Mark found out and decided I think it even seemed like it was a surprise to him, right? The way the album sounded, the way it was mixed, the way it was put together by the producer and maybe some other personnel. Yeah, what do you think about this dynamic?
Yeah, I mean, I could definitely see him not appreciating it. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I know it was leaked. I guess I haven't done the deep enough dive to find out who it was. I know some people have some pretty good guesses. It sounds like he's not very happy with the producer, his buddy Grant Showbiz, but not sure if that's where he's throwing the shade at or not.
Yeah, it is kind of weird because let's get into some of these details that that are out there. We don't know if this is true or not, but basically Grant Showbiz goes away to mix it, adds a bunch of electronic elements, and you can listen to this version. It's called the alternative version, but it was originally going to be, Country on the Click. That's why it's known as that mix. He adds a bunch of things to the tracks. It's not, I wouldn't say it's drastically different, but it's definitely different. I think that it does have some interesting song versions on that version. that are, it's not necessarily bad. I don't think it's as bad as people make it out to be. Well, I listened to it a bunch of times, and I don't think it's as bad as everyone was calling it, like the fucking total shit. And then Mark came and saved the day and made it into the great album that I actually think it is too. But Jim Watts, the bass player in The Fall at this point, he gets kind of blamed for the leak. And he has said he did not leak it, but he knows who did. And he was even upset with the person for leaking it because, he didn't think it was fair to the band. But he thought that that person was leaking it because he thought that he was doing some sort of justice to the mix that maybe deserved to be out there when they knew that Mark was going to strip it all back and make a totally different version for the public to hear. So, I think Jim Watts gets blamed, and we might have to get into it with Jim Watts and get some insider information coming up. But it's just an interesting thing because, and then Jim Watts eventually, he's going to get booted from the band. But even Jim Watts says, I actually, in some ways, was like thankful that it happened because it turned out to change the record in the way that it did. And the final product, he says, is way, the way it's meant to be.
Motivated Mark probably a little bit more to not be in the background, right? Like, you're gonna fuck with my shit. Like, okay, now it's go time, and I'm gonna turn it back around into what I want it to be exactly, versus letting the others kind of take the lead.
Yeah, and what's weird too is like Grant Showbiz, for my money, and I'm guessing for your money too, he's made some of the best sounding records with The Fall for me. And also some of the songs, like when he's like one of the many producers on an album, like I'm thinking the late 80s albums, his songs are some of my favorites compared to like the other producers that are there. Like he just, even if it's just Mark by himself, it's better with Grant Showbiz, usually.
Yeah, I like the Grant Showbiz albums. I mean, especially the early stuff. But and I mean, he does come back as a producer on Imperial Wax Solvent.
Yes.
So it's not like it was. I mean, either Mark maybe didn't know, maybe he forgot, maybe he didn't care as much as he's making it out to be. But I mean, he did invite him back. So maybe it wasn't him that leaked it. I don't know. But yeah, and maybe Grant has now got his own studio and spent a lot of time on this, and did really feel like pissed that Mark was going to just throw all of his probably many hours of work down the drain because of whatever reason. Like I don't feel like Mark would have been a very good explained it well enough to be like why he doesn't like it. You just kind of would get the sense that he's just being like a pedantic asshole boss that's like, nope, that's not the way it's supposed to be. And you're just like, why don't we just listen and talk about it? And he's just like, nope.
Yeah. I don't like it. I don't like all the bleeps and bloops, the bloody Space Invader stuff. It's a bunch of shit. Take that shit off of there. And honestly, he was right. I mean, he was right. He fucking wanted to strip it down, and it honestly made for a way better album. What do you think? What do you like? Do you like this album? How do you feel about this album overall? We're talking about the Real New Fall LP from 2003 on Action Records.
Yeah, I'm a big fan. I think the band is kind of the new Fall has come into their own here.
I wish it wasn't called the Real New Fall LP. I wish he just was like, fuck it. I know he didn't want it to be confused with the leaked version, but come on, like The Country on the Click is a great title for a great album. In the Real New Fall LP, let's be honest,
which is
it's not popping.
You almost realize he knew the other album title was better. Actually putting it on the cover.
Keeping it on there?
Yeah, like you're like, oh. Yeah, no, that is much better. Because it is already highlighting the other thing, right? You're automatically you're kind of like, what was it former? What was what am I missing here? I want to listen to what it formerly was.
It's keeping the story of the leak in
exactly
out there, which is great. which is great. And it also is putting him like he's writing his own narrative. It's great. Like he's like, I saved it. Like even if he wasn't actively thinking that, he's basically like, I had to fucking fix things. I had to
Oh, yeah.
fucking fix this mess. Man. So we basically have, even though it's called the Real New Fall LP, we basically have the same band that was on Are You Our Missing Winner, right? The only main difference is we have Dave Milner on drums, vocals, and keyboards this time around. We also have, as we said, Jim Watts on bass, guitar, and computers, Ben Pritchard on guitar and vocals, Elena Palu and keyboards and vocals.
Yeah, she's new as well.
Yes, well, that's true. That's true. And Marky Smith on vocals. We also have a couple guest players. S. Beswick on keyboards, the Recovery Kit, and also Simon Ding Archer on bass, who will actually continue on, I believe, into the fall mainstay. I gotta give some, not only Grand Showbiz, but also the engineers who made this record some credit here because it just sounds so good. Like it sounds in the form that we're going to listen to, which is I guess the Real New Fall LP form,
Yeah.
proper release, UK version, original release. It just sounds so fucking great. So let's just get these engineers' names out here. We got Tim Gracielands Baxter, Jim Watts gets a engineering credit, Mike Body, Simon Archer. So like those guys like helping make this sound like the way it does, I say gotta give them props too.
Yeah,
Steve,
I think this album is loud and clear, and yeah, it hits. Even if you don't like the songs as much, it sounds great.
this album for me is so good, especially when you're gonna relate it to, which we always do, relative to the previous albums that just came out around it. And I'm even going back into the late 90s. I'm even going back to all the 90s. This album is the best thing the fall has released since 1990, and I honestly would even go back to, you know, put it up against anything in the late 80s. I think it's that good. I think it's like front to back. There's no bad lulls. There's no valleys in the track list that are so deep where you're like, not can't get out of it. I mean, we'll see how it goes this go around.
Yeah.
But it's
How
fucking
far back
great.
you going? You going to How to Friends Experiment?
I mean,
I think so.
yeah, I'm going to Friends Experiment, honestly. Yeah. I think
Yeah,
it's better than that. It's
I
more
don't
rocking.
I don't know if it jumps Ben Sinister, but
Yeah, I love Ben Sinister too. It's kind of like on the same tier as that. I would
yeah.
definitely give it with that. Obviously, the early 80s stuff is on its own tier, but this one is kinda like it just pops out of nowhere almost. I mean, I say that, but I'm almost like everything that's come before this one is kind of been it's kind of been hinting that something like this would happen if you have been listening closely to the fall and like picking up the breadcrumbs. You don't really ever know where they're gonna go with their next album, which is the most fun part, which is kind of the surprise that some people like drop off the train, which I understand going through some of the 90s. But if you like think about, okay, the Marshall Suite, 1999, solid, interesting. They go into Unutterable, super solid. Then they go into Are You Our Missing Winner, which is kind of like fucking far out, but it's not as terrible as
Right.
people make it out, but it's
To say not
interesting.
great, but
It's
interesting, but
interesting.
not great, right?
But
Yeah.
whenever that usually happens, when there's like kind of like a little speed bump or a little, or I should say, a drastic change of pace,
Yeah, exactly.
in
Yeah.
style, then it usually is followed by something
Big.
drastically different that's big.
Uh,
Exactly, totally.
yeah,
Totally huge.
they work out the kinks. Mark,
Yeah,
the band got out the weirdness and found a direction they wanted to go.
I know. It was almost like Are You Our Missing Winner was like a demo session for them.
Exactly. Yeah, get the band in the studio, get them messing around with each other and figuring out
Yes.
where they're gonna go.
Mhm.
Have
It's
you
kind of always the feeling out period.
have
You
you
know
been practicing that a lot? saying the album title? Because you got it dead on all these times.
Yeah, no. It's only after we talked about are you our missing winner? Slip that you get in your mailbox. It's kind of like burnt into my brain. And also, we listened to that so much. I had to look at that album cover. I was like reading it over and over again. So Steve, let's just go over real quick before we jump into this great album. The differences between that leaked version and the version that came out that we're going to listen to, the official version, because it's really interesting. Not so much the track titles, even though a lot of the track titles are cut down in names, like even like from the UK version to the US version, they cut down the names even more. But I found it very interesting that a lot of the tracks from the leaked version to the official release that Mark kind of stripped down and put together, they get shorter. A lot of them are just like dropping by like Contraflow was 4 minutes and 43 seconds on the leaked version. It was down to 4 minutes and 5 seconds. Green Eyed Local Man was 4 minutes. It goes to 3:46. M Mike Love's Hexagon goes down by, like, about 18 seconds. So, it just tells me I feel like this is interesting because it tells me not only was Mark stripping back the sounds of the mix of the songs, like, taking off layers, but he was also cutting off the fat,
Wh-
which, as an
I-
editor, is fucking great. Beautiful.
Yeah, I mean, they must have. Did they go back in and re-record everything because the lyrics are
No.
different?
Yeah.
Are different on several of the songs as well. Like,
The music, I don't know. Of course, there's alternate versions because I think the Sparta #2 gets added to, I believe, the US version. It's so complicated. There's so much going on with the shifting and the puzzling, like, together. But I kind of just hear if they change the lyrics, that seems easy, and if they strip out off the layers of the tracks, that seems doable. But to re-record them, I don't know. I don't think they would re-record them.
I mean, did they?
Like,
I guess, but would
swap out
they?
the track with a different one?
Yeah, did they already
Version?
have? Did they already have the version recorded, or like?
Yeah,
I
yeah.
mean, could
That's what I
they? Did
assume.
they? Do you think they still had the original tracks? Like, what if they had? What if they
Yeah.
had just? Yeah, you think they just had the originals without all the additions, not added onto them?
Well,
I
you
guess it's
gotta
2003, so
that's what yeah.
they had the technology to rip off the stuff that they added.
Yeah, at this point, like, they're not in I think they're, like, in Gracieland Studios where they're recording this, but at this point, they're just on, like, a computer-based Pro Tools, and they're
Yeah,
like Mark's, like, going I mean, he's not the one doing it, obviously, he's not getting in front of the fucking computer and doing that. I would love to see it. It would be even a bigger mess if he got in front of the keyboard and started editing it. Remember his computer programming skills 00151000 inputting that code. I bet you that would have worked out well as a remix, like a Mark Pro Tools remix session. But yeah, this was recorded at Gracieland Studios in Rockdale in late 2002 to mid 2003. It also says that some of the early pressings of the CD had incorrect track titles, orders, and yeah.
yeah. I
There's
mean,
yeah.
the track list is totally out of order as well, from Country on the Click to the new
Yeah.
Fall LP, which is that was one of the things when I was listening to the bootleg was how did the flow change quite a bit.
Yeah. And there's a couple tracks that we're going to talk about that maybe if we have time we'll get into that are kind of I don't know, they're kind of like the one-off gems that are on different track lists like Portugal and Susan versus Youth Club that are equally interesting and cool, but depending on the version you have or you're listening to, they might be there or they might not. So, Steve, let's get into the real new Fall LP, formerly known as Country on the Click from 2003. What are we leading off with? Hopefully something very, very, very in your face and rocking.
We are going with a Green-Eyed Loco Man.
She's watching out. You have to shave first. And then, man, where do you stand? Agree on. Local man. Agree on. Local man. Where you're standing.
Spin magazine said this about the album: an atavistic orgy of recycled riffs and lifelong obsessions. It's as good as anything this group's done in its monstrous catalog. You get behind that?
I do. Yeah, I mean, it's. I like the spin where they're going back on, because I mean, there's a kind of versions of this, grooving with Mr. Blow.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I mean, it's taking sounds that were performed before and just expanding on them. I mean, yeah, I mean, this is just an explosion of noise. I mean, great starting track for what you're about to go through.
Jim Watts once again gets a credit on the lead-off track, just like the last album, I believe, and it's turning out great. He must be doing some of that computer programming, and whatever he's doing, it's on point. It's going off of what Dave Bush started, but then almost fitting it into the fall even better.
Yeah, I think it fits well as with the bass player doing it, because it's it's kind of the bass line, right? Like a lot of it is replaces the bass. And so not having two people trying to drive the song, I think kind of helps that.
That's interesting. That's really, I didn't even think about that as the bass player perspective. He is creating that, programmed techno electronic beats in place of that, and there's no competing or making room for a potential bass player. So you kind of get to fill the space fully. Yeah.
Yeah, and if there's open space, it's just you gonna have to do it anyways. So you make your decision, like, is this better with a computer sound, or should I pick up the bass now and put down a few lines, or should I just record myself playing bass and then throw that in to a track back sort of thing?
Yeah, that's true. And that interlude kind of gets into that, which is, I like the interlude because it's in the middle of the track. It's like nothing is happening, but it's like something should be there, but there isn't something there. And I really like that. It's almost like a restraint that I wonder, and I don't remember the leaked version. The leaked version has so much more, right? It just has so much more layers on there, where it's kind of almost disorientating with how much stuff is going on. And this just sounds huge. Everything has its own space. Everything's big. But that interlude is really great because it's like there's kind of like an undercurrent of something is happening, but it's like a rumbling, bubbling, and then it just moves forward. That just gets you back into the groove.
Yeah, and I like that it gets back into the groove, because so many, at least especially recently, so many times they've done an interlude and then they
Keep
just
going.
they either stop all of a sudden and you're like,
Oh, yeah.
that was quick, or they've been just playing a totally different song
Yeah,
the second half, and you're just like, this isn't the same song, even though it's got the same name. Like you're doing two things here at once, like
Yeah, that's true.
which is not the case
Yeah,
for this one.
I almost give like Grant Chobiz some credit for that producer wise, because I think that's why I like his albums with the fall, is he is able to get them to go and do things that are typically not fall like, which is like drop back into the actual song.
Yeah.
A little bit too much freedom with no producer or Marky Smith producing. It kind of goes off, which can be great, which can be exponentially great, but a lot of the times it goes like off, like off, off to the side, where you're like, wow, it just lost the current there.
Yeah, Mark has no guidance, or he's fighting against the guidance.
Mhm,
It's
mhm.
nicer when he at
Mhm.
least respects the guidance somewhat.
Yeah. And he does, obviously. I think even what it says a lot too that Grand Showbiz made a mix of the album. Mark didn't like it. It got leaked. I don't think Grand Showbiz leaked it. I think someone else that was, trying to be a proponent of Grand Showbiz and Jim Watts leaked it. And what happened? Mark wasn't like, "Fuck off, mate. You're never gonna be coming around here again." Or you didn't slag him off, honestly, in the press either, because you respect him. He said, "I won't name who did it." It's pretty clear
Yeah.
that he was talking about the mix and not like just the leaked version. But then he comes back, and I look forward to that one that he comes back to produce. What do you think about some of the lyrics? Are any popping out to you, Steve?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not really sure where it's going, but I love like I'm moving fast, but you are tight. Like that sounds
Yeah,
great.
yeah, yeah.
Fractured eyes force me through the night. Yeah, I mean, I'm picturing this green-eyed loco man.
Mhm.
Not exactly sure why or what he's doing, but he's there.
Yeah.
And like
You're f
the riddle me this, like what is that? Batman, the
Yeah, the
Riddler.
Riddler, yeah.
Riddle me this. Who are
Which we
you?
know he likes. He likes Batman, which is great. Everyone,
Yeah, and what was the other guy? What was the Spider-Man one? The green-eyed guy, the Green Goblin. He could be that
Oh,
guy.
he could be the Green Goblin, yeah. Well, Mark was just a big
When
comic
when did that movie come out?
he was just a big comic book head. He was just a big Marvel and DC guy. Huh. No, I know he wasn't. He was an Elastic Man guy. He was the
Yeah,
one getting elastic.
well, hey, but he liked the comics. I mean, from the beginning, right?
Mhm, mhm. I mean, the man would read anything. On a
Yeah.
if you gave him a a scripture in German, oh man, he'll be trying to figure that out all day.
Yeah. 2002 was the first Tobey Maguire Spider-Man movie where
Oh, okay, okay.
William Dafoe played the Green Goblin.
Okay, you're gonna go on the new annotated fall and just the new annotated fall. You're gonna go on there
Yeah, and
just
this comment about how the Green-Eyed Loco Man is definitely the Green Goblin.
okay, okay. You're gonna be
I'm putting my neck out there.
all right. When when Danny No calls for a quorum to vote off
Yeah, to kick me off
your
the island.
presence, yeah, I'm probably
You're
gonna be on Danny No's side.
you're
I don't need
gonna
there's
it's
no
gonna
place
be
for
you.
that.
You're extinguishing my tiki torch.
There's no place for Tobey Maguire connections to Marky Smith.
And no, it's not.
I will
It's William Dafoe. I'm not going
okay,
to Toby.
okay,
I'm
okay.
going William Dafoe on
Alright,
this.
that's better. That's better. Yeah, yeah, yeah. But moving forward though, I think the theme of eyes, eyeballs, eyelids across this album is really interesting, and it's something I picked up on. So as we move forward, let's just keep our eyes and ears out for that, okay?
Yeah, what's this though? Through a helmet, your hair grows right to the ground.
Yes.
That's weird.
That's cool. That's
Through
cool.
through a helmet, your hair grows right to.
Even the way it starts with to wear Chanel, you have to shave first. Like the shaving, of course, Marky Smith is always about the clean shave,
Oh yeah.
the fresh look, having the hair combed, putting the suit coat on. I guess wearing some aftershave bobs, putting on some cologne. So the makeup, like I just don't know what the green eye look like. Is he kind of a freak? Like, is he kind of a freaky guy? Um, it
You,
sounds kind of freaky.
your reflected green eyes take 2 foot off you. I don't know. It's almost like it's some fucking hippie person or something. Like
Hmm.
he's got the long hair growing to the ground. He's not shaven, but he's wearing Chanel perfume. He's got
It's kind of sexual. I mean,
he's got these beautiful green eyes.
yeah,
He can't it's driving him crazy.
yeah, man. I don't, yeah, no, there's something sensual about it, but then at the end, the way it wraps up, it's kind of demoralizing to like how whatever interactions at play with for your greedy past cold on a plate. Whoa. Wow. Okay. That is good. I mean, that's a great way to start this sucker off, and we're only gonna get better. Steve, let's get into Mountain Energy.
Mr. Blasto and Mr. Partridge, they said to me to get a mortgage, you need an income letter. I thought it was free. Dolly Parton and Lord Byron, they said patriotism is the last refuge, but now it's me. And water's flowing down the mountain, but a tree is blocking the water flowing. So I went fishing, I know from a fish sailed, I did dope. If you wanna catch us, you need a rod and a line. Sound of fish, water is flowing down the mountain, but a tree is blocking the water flowing.
So, I mean, I know you're not much of a fisherman, but for me, I love songs talking about fishing, especially from the perspective of the fish.
This song is fucking beautiful. I like that it's like it is like a march up the mountain, even though it's talking about the water flowing down the mountain. And Mark's delivery is on point. There's a couple times on this album where it's not the aggressive Mark that you typically want to hear and love hearing, but it's really the subdued Mark. And I'm not talking about like a drunk Mark. I'm talking about just the subdued kind of balladeer type Mark. And a couple times on this album, and this is one of the points, he does it, and it just totally fucking nails it. It's totally like what I want to hear as far as I mean, let's get into it. He starts off the song with, you know, asking or assuming he's gonna get a mortgage, and the guys are telling him, "Oh, you need some income first." And he's like,
Well, yeah, or
"Oh,
you need proof of income. You need like an income lead. You need
oh
basically
yeah,
they're
yeah,
saying
yeah,
you need to prove that you have X number of dollars coming in every month,
oh yeah."
which you know
The
Mark
Cox
doesn't got.
Sinister,
Yeah, he doesn't
the
got
Cox
that.
Sinister office is maybe not the best with the financial accounting and the books, which is probably why the government said, "Hey, you have a tax bill that's like 25 grand, mate," and you know Steve Hanley and and, and Simon Wollstonecroft are like, "How are we gonna do this?
Yeah.
How are we gonna?" Yeah, but I think it's such a funny line for him to say, "Oh, I thought it was free." Like
Yeah, I
just
thought
like
I
a
could
put, a
just come
put
in.
back in their face.
Yeah, I just wanted to come in and buy. I wanted a house.
"Oh yeah, I thought I could just get this house." "Oh no, no, you need to do this." "Oh, okay, all right. Why don't you walk me through it?" The Dolly Parton and Lord Byron putting them in the same thing and talking about the patriotism is really great too. But the water flowing down the mountain and it that's just like a straightforward line. That's in a million songs, right? Water flowing down a mountain. But then the next line, but a tree is blocking the water flowing. That is not in a million songs. That is like an impediment, and it's like an impediment style line right after a flowing line that makes you just be like, wow, that caught my ear. And not only did it catch my ear, it makes me visualize immediately that. And every one of us that listens to this song that hears that line, we're all picturing a different, like, even if I ask you right now, like what kind of tree are you, do you
Sure.
picture when you hear that? A skinny tree, a thick ass tree, a tree where the water is just flowing around it soft, or is the water rushing, just pounding into it, pummeling it? It's all great. That's the best part. Yeah, your fishing is in here, and you know that's Danny knows, like, profile pic is the note card from the fish
Oh, is
from
it?
from
Nice.
the cartoon. What is it? Froghorn Leghorn cartoon. And like that's in the cartoon where the fish sends this little note, which Mark picked up on, and hey, back to the cartoons and back to Mark loving watching those on TV. Yeah, this song is fucking great. It could have easily been the opening track too, like an easier way into the album, and I wouldn't have like batted an eye.
Yeah, I think yeah, it could have been. It's a pretty calm song. I mean, this one is totally different too from the leaked version. I mean, and none of the fish stuff is in there at all. It's definitely like a political song that is kind of beautifully subdued. It's almost like doesn't sound country western, but it just kind of has that kind of
Huh.
the man is kinda stomping you down, right? Like,
Yeah, yeah.
you can't rent a car, you need a logbook and a license, son.
Right.
The water's flowing, but now it's blocked. Is it blocked by the tree, or is it blocked by a dam that the people put up? Now they're charging you for the water.
It's
Uh,
blocked by bureaucracy.
yeah,
It's
exactly.
blocked by the bureaucratic system. It's blocked by the government. It's blocked by the system that's put in place, and even like the patriotism, like the over patriotism that Mark's getting at is, well, like, am I paying for that too? Like, I got to pay that to get my house, to get my rental car, to get
Yeah.
anything.
Look at the water. It's flowing down the mountain. Why do I have to pay for it? Like, I
Mhm.
can go up there with a jug and get it for free, but you
Yeah.
want me to how much does it cost?
Or I can just picture Mark, like, he has a carrier bag full of cash, like, or 2 with him, and he's still like, "I got, like, more cash than I have, like, 10 times the amount of money needed for this thing that I
Yeah.
want to get done, but they're asking me for all this extra stuff in order for me to just hand this cash over and get what I want," which is like, the impediment, and which is also like the musician life where it's like, "Oh, I gotta do taxes on all those shows I did last year." I have to pay an exorbitant amount of money on all of the, like, I just got paid in cash at all these places, and then I have to go through that, and then I was losing money most of the time already, and I have to pay more? Like,
Yeah,
I totally
and
get where he's coming from, yeah.
yeah, and I mean, in the US, you gotta pay per state, which is
Mhm.
just insane. I mean, like, yeah, even, like, think about, like, like, I get it because like, you think about a professional athlete who just got paid $100,000 to play one basketball game, you're like, "Damn right, Illinois wants a cut of that $100,000
Oh,
from
yeah,
the
for
guy
sure.
from frickin' Miami," like,
Yeah, definitely. And that's why everyone's moving to Texas and Florida, and, like, and and not helping their states at all with any of it, all these billionaires. So it's like, even like up to the top level, it's kinda like it's all fucked up. But here's an interesting thing that you found, Steve, which is, well, what is it? You tell the audience what we're gonna listen to as a little bonus right here.
yeah, yeah. So this is the song. The music was written by Dave Milner, and so he posted his original music, "Hip Priestess," and so
Blog.
we found it on the old
Yeah,
Tumblr.
yeah. It's a home demo that became the Mountain Energy. So let's just listen to this together. We've never listened to this, so let's just give it a go.
I spent last night town's too far away. But I've got my head in last week's milk. I'll read the paper from yesterday. There ain't no entry for you, my friend. We don't want your cat round here, no. There ain't no entry for you, my friend. Your sort are kind of queer. So I put on my best coat, put on my best shoes, put on my best fake smile. I'm acting like I know somebody, acting like I know something, like a goddamn child. There ain't no entry for you, my friend. We don't want your cat round here, no. There ain't no entry for you, my friend. Your sorts are kind of
Okay, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, that sounds awesome.
That's totally you can hear the the DNA that went forward and manipulated itself into the final version, but that is creepy with the xylophone and the I would have loved to hear Mark lyric delivery on top of that music and
Sure. Yeah.
instrumentation, but totally fucking interesting.
Yeah, I mean, the old Dave's got like 35 pages of just fall ramblings here on this Tumblr.
Eh, So we'll put the link if you want to re-listen to that a bunch more, or just re-listen to this episode a bunch. So Steve, let's get into track 3. What do we got?
We have the theme from Sparta FC.
Come on, I will show you how I will change when you give me something to slaughter. Shepherd boy, hey, everybody sing, hey, better and quick, hey, be my toy. Come on, have a bet, we live on blood. We are Sparta MC. I'll get him back. But by hook or by crook, I will be my toy. Come on, have a bet. We live on blood. We are Sparta MC. You have to pay for everything. Some things are free. We live on blood. We are Sparta MC.
English Chelsea fan, this is your last game. We're not Galatasaray.
We are Sparta MC. And take your fleecy jumper, you won't need it anymore. It is in the car boot, moving away. I swear you are going, clothes won't help. Stay at home with TV set. Be my toy. Come on, have a bet. We live on blood. We are Sparta MC.
Well, another football theme song from the fall.
Yeah, first introduction into Elena. I like it.
Yeah, her vocal, there's a lot of conjecture about what she's talking about, but we have an inside scoop that Danny No has it on his research list that he is going to be diving into that and he's going to try to get to the bottom of that as one of his priorities for his annotating the fall project. So,
To do what? To figure out what she's saying?
yes, to figure out what she's saying, which is going to be a big undertaking because it's very, very difficult to get what's going on in her vocals in her.
Well, I've got
lyrics.
the basis translation here is what they say is, "Come and I will show you how I will change when you give me something to slaughter. Come and have a bet so I can win. This is not a poem for the bin." Is that
Okay.
Elena's lines? Yeah, it is. And Mark was saying that Elena came
Supposedly.
in supposedly. It's translated from a Greek speaker who translated it.
Yeah. I mean, it's cool. It's lovely. It's really good. I like that this song is, of course, like the fun. Only something that Mark could probably do is doing ancient Greek football club that is brutal. It's all bloody. We live on blood. It's really great, but it's also like the football hooliganism built within that, and it's something that Mark hasn't really delved into too much. Like Kicker Conspiracy is not that, and
No.
this one does that, and I think it's even more fitting to what Mark likes to write about, which is why it comes across so well.
Yeah, and he was saying when they were writing it, he's basically said that he knows Greek football fans, and obviously Elena's Greek, but he says their attitude is different, completely different from the Britain, where they're really just in it for the club. They're a part of their
Yeah,
team.
okay.
They're part of it, and like they like that feeling more than, what does he say? He says that the Greek find the British fans very funny. They find them hilarious. When they cry. When they don't win and all that. So he's just like basically like, oh yeah, the British are soft and the Greek fans are in it for the long haul versus just
Oh, that's really interesting because you always picture you know, the UK and like you always picture those soccer fans as like the most emotional. And he's saying, no, it's like even more so with the Greek football. Oh, huh. Yeah, it's just cool to hear it because and things like that because we have no idea about any of those. So it's fun to get the inside scoop as far as what at least Mark pictures the differences to be. Yeah, it's a really good. It's got great energy musically. It's all about that downward guitar riff. It's just all about that. It's just so catchy.
That's Mark's take on a Greek guitar, he says.
It is.
Yeah. What's he say? He says,
He told
he told Tim Cummings and MES at a Manchester bar.
Mm.
How does he say it?
So that's Ben Pritchard
Great.
playing it. Huh.
Elena came up with some great words, and I added some words. Greek football fans' attitude. We put on a Greek motif on the guitar, and that was that.
Okay, yeah, that's that. Ben Pritchard has a great story about when he got asked to play with the Fall the first time. It was like at a big festival, and they called him up, and they were like, "Ben, we need you to play this festival, so get your gear and get the bus or the whatever the transport leaves at 6 a.m. and you got to go to the festival and do it." He's like, "I only know 4 fall songs," and he was like, "I don't know if I can do this." And so he was like telling the manager, which I think it was Ed Blanley at the time. He said, "I don't know if I can do this." He was like really unsure. He's like, "I don't know if I'm even going to say yes to this." And so the word got around to Mark that Ben was like, "I don't know." He's not sure, and they needed him, of course. And Mark called him up personally. He's like, "Come on, you can do this." He's like, "Come on, you got this. This is not a problem." He's like, "Just come on over here. We'll do a rehearsal." And so he gets there, and he's like, "We basically did a couple strums." And then we went on stage, and he's like, in the whole show, it was Mark yelling out song titles, and I had no idea what he was asking for. And he's like, and half the band was like, what is this? And so he's like, we just kind of started playing stuff and trying to play things, and like some of this, he's like, I think at one point Mark said, he's like, "Well, how does this one go?" And Mark's like, "It's like Led Zeppelin. It sounds like Led Zeppelin." He's like, or it sounds like Kashmir. He just tells him it sounds like Kashmir by Led Zeppelin, and he's like, "Okay." Okay, I guess we can get this going a little bit. It sounds like they got through the gig, but then it was also like the crowd was like, he felt like the crowd was like looking at them like, what what is going on this stage right now? Yeah, okay. Let's get into track 4 here and get into another ripper, Contraflow.
Sick hill near Buxton, Suffolk Road. I gotta do it. Prefix the power. Gotta meet Jim with a roll. I hate the countryside so much. I hate the country folk so much. I hate the countryside so much. I hate the country folk so much. Countryside so much. I hate the country folk so much.
So this one is not Hard Life in the Country, but it just shows Mark's feelings towards the countryside have not changed too much in a couple decades.
No, it hasn't. It hasn't gotten any better.
Mm-mm.
He's not you can't. You're not even taking him glamping out there. He's not into it.
Musically, this song is great. I love it. I love this distorted synth with the crisp guitar punctured riff. And then I would like more Mark lyrics, but then again, it's kind of just more about the feel and the sentiment. But there are some good lyrics in here. Like towards the middle end, the keys won't fit. The keys won't fit. He's over and over again. The keys won't fit in the socket or the controls, stuck like grids on the Pennine mud. And then also, walk snake back, walk snake pass, walk snake bank. What? That is like that's good. That's good. Oh man, you just stuck out there in the country. You can't get out. Stuck in a mud like little slick. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if you were stuck out there with Mark, I imagine he would be the guy that just like lays down and just nope, that's it. No, I'll die here.
Carry me.
Yeah, either you're gonna have to end up carrying him back, right? He's not walking any further.
Mm-mm.
You can't leave him. You're feeling bad.
Mm-mm. There's nothing to do out there for Mark. You know, you can only spend so much time in the pub, and then you're like, oh, he needs to go and look at a green pasture, and he's like, all right, that's it. That's all we got going here.
What are we doing? What are we doing out here?
I've seen all the pubs. Like, we're done here. Yeah. And Jim Watts gets another writing credit on this. And it's interesting too, because Jim Watts said he wasn't expecting any writing credits. And he was like, I was doing it just for the experience of being in the fall. And I think he's a visual artist now. And he still says that being in the fall was like the highlight of his artistic career, at least when he got interviewed for the Fallen book. And that's pretty cool to hear that he's still like, even with all the dramatic interplay between the band dynamic and all this stuff and the way that he was fired, which was basically in the pub, Mark comes in, orders pints for all the band besides Jim, and then comes up to him. He comes up to him and says, you're out of the band. And Jim says, he said he was just laughing. So he was just laughing. Like Mark was telling him, but Jim was just laughing because, he was just like, well, I don't know if this is real or not, but also it's funny. It's fun that I'm like on the receiving end of getting booted out of the band. Like he knew it was going to happen.
Sooner or later, right?
Mhm.
Yeah, the shoe's going to drop.
Yeah. Jim seems like a great dude. Great. I mean, I don't know. I mean, it just seems like he had the right personality to be a part of it and took full advantage. And those songs that he gets writer's credit for, who knows if he actually had the biggest impact on those songs, but good on him for being there, for getting that, because they sound, all of them that have his name on them.
I was
Sound
going to
great.
say he's got more writing credits than the guys that have been in the band for 20 years.
Yeah, totally. Okay, let's get into the track before the last track before we flip this baby over. And we got Last Command of Zarathustra via MES. Should I redo it?
No, that was good. That was Zyra. X-ray. No, you got it.
Last Command of Zyro Rep via MES.
Assumed or imaginary. The vocal testaments of MES coming from the little town of Spec Master. Wrong. Cash. The eternal fork out to keep everything normal is well beyond the capacity. All monies will try and escape thee. Beware of thy lazy right hand. This is the focal of MES, Locust, and avoid respectable television and respectable newspapers. They have neither the talent of art or the instinctive snouts of the media. Implore out thy real God. He mutters incomprehensively, still on job one. The alloys, the calibrator, in a cave not yet invented or constructed. This is your vessel, MES, from me to you. This one MES procured, mountains, waters blocked by dormant tree. See later on this LP. 6. Avoid facts, aggressive men, and handsome aggressive men. In conflict they disappear overnight with bad acts. 7. Cod science. Cod psychology is to be avoided, but do not make your any points public, as it will bring the wrath of the three quarters.
Okay, where do you want to go with this one?
I mean, I
There's
want to
so
go.
much in here.
I want to go to Xyrothrepia and see what they're. Yeah, I mean,
There's so much in here, which is excellent.
oh yeah,
Let's start with the music because across this whole album, I'm really appreciative of all the different guitar tones, even though most of them are like distorted rock and roll tones. There's sometimes when there's like a jangly guitar that's like slightly less distorted that harkens back to original early fall sounds, and then it's a nice change up, and then it gets back into rocking like this song. So I just like that across the whole album. There's that variety, but I think this getting into the lyrics, the line "Cash, the eternal fork out," that is the line that is just kind of like uh, the the foundational point for this song, which is he's talking about all these things that are respectable, right? Respectable television, respectable newspapers, the snout of the media, the instinctive snout of the media. But to keep everything normal is well beyond the capacity. All monies will try and escape thee. Beware of thy lazy right hand. This is the focal of MES locus and the Xyrothrep. And I think that it's, for me, the idea that once that the money becomes involved in the situation is the minute that things become narrowed. And even if you think about something like the BBC or anything like American, I mean, similar, once the money flow is in play from a source, then you become narrowed as far as what is artistically the range you can fit into. And so,
yeah, or just
yeah,
everything is compromised, right?
everything.
Like
Yeah.
your morals, your values, what you
Mhm.
thought was your guiding light and moving forward. You'd never break, but all of a sudden, Cash, the eternal fork out, really
Yeah.
makes everything turn over.
Yeah. The fork out is a great phrase too, because and one I've never heard before, of course, is the fork in the road. And it's basically what he's getting at as far as I'm hearing, because it's like you have a choice, right? You have a choice to go one way or the other. And it's an easy choice to take the cash route, the financial backed route, but you might be a little bit on a narrower road, which might not be able to go as far. There might be a dead end that comes up sooner than the other path that might have been a wide ass road where you can get very artistically experimental. And that's always been the fall choice and Marky Smith's choice when he's making deals with record labels or moving on from record labels where he thinks it's been narrowed in some way or another. even isn't it great that he brings back the mountain's waters blocked by a dormant tree? See you
Yeah.
later on this LP.
Where was it at in the original? I don't know. It was still before it on the Country on the Click. Mountain Energy was still number 3,
Yeah.
which I mean, it would make sense that he was imagining this before that, right? See you later. I'll see you later on Mountain Energy.
Oh, a little. Yeah, he thought it might be coming up earlier on the track list.
Yeah, exactly.
Huh. And then he would be alluding to the big water flow.
Yeah, exactly.
Ah, I could definitely see it because even the tempo of this is like something that could lead off the album as well, where it's just like it's like a long ass build. It's like what 3 minutes and almost 3.5 minutes of this huge buildup.
Yeah,
And
and
it
it's subdued almost, but it's too busy to be to be subdued.
yeah,
It doesn't like yeah, it's not busy in a bad sense where you're like, "Oh, it's all over the place." It's just it's got this underlining buildup. You're like, "What is gonna happen here in the end?"
it's just the tension. You know,
Uh-huh,
the
yeah, the
tension
tension,
that's
exactly. That's you
the
feel it.
the high tension line. It's just that because it's just doing it because and I know what you're saying, it seems subdued. It's because Mark's delivery is subdued and also because there's no chorus.
Yeah, yeah.
He's given all the lyrics and it's just moving forward, which is a great there needs I honestly a good fall album, and it usually has one of these tracks that is like this, where it's all just the prose from front to back. There's not a structure to it like a typical traditional, song, a song that's on the radio, and this song would not be on the radio because it doesn't have a chorus. Even at the end, "Avoid fat aggressive men and handsome aggressive men." In conflict, they disappear overnight with bad backs. COD science, COD psychology is to be avoided, but do not make your inig noise public, as it will bring the wrath of the druid quarters. Come on. You want to end a song like that? That is fine in my book.
Yeah. I mean, the whole thing, you're like, "What is going like,
Yeah,
this
it's
ship is
great.
coming for you, Mark." What does it say? That this is your vessel, MES.
Oh, this is your vessel, MES. Yeah, and no do you take that one as because that one catches my ear as well. Do you take that one as almost like, I am like, he is the vessel, or is it like he is the vessel for you to live through? Or
Oh,
are you
or is it
taking
like is
or is
he
it like he's just saying, "I'm your" you know, "I'm the vessel, and I'm giving you this
this
information."
yeah, or like this is your vessel, me, MES. Or
Yes,
like or is
exactly.
someone giving him the vessel to
Right.
MES? This is your vessel, MES, like you're oh, here's your ship to come or whatever it
Mhm.
is. No, I feel like it's definitely more so the I guess the former, whatever we're talking, like MES is the vessel. This is your he's saying, "I am your vessel, MES."
Yeah, because I could see it being, "I am the vessel, Marquis Smith,"
Yeah,
and
exactly.
the cash flow into me is, like, that's all I am for you, right? Like, the cash flow that goes into me is just all you think of me as. And he's and it makes more sense, like, he would do that as a play, like, well, like, that I would never be that, right? I'm never gonna be your pawn. I'm
Yeah,
never
and I
gonna
mean,
be that guy.
he's not I don't know how he doesn't mention himself all that often
No.
in like
The
this way where the vocal testament of MES, like this is
no, in
a
the no, in previous songs when he brings up, like, himself, it's like remember oh, I'm forgetting the name of the title right now, but basically the song where he's talking about the lover in Dallas and how
yeah, yeah,
they about how they're with, like a basically a bootleg Marquis Smith, right? A guy that wants to be Marquis Smith, like,
sure.
that's how he's playing it. This is a totally different way of doing it, which is great. It's just like he's got so many tricks in the fucking carrier bag that he can pull out at any time, and this is just a new one. All right, let's wrap up side 8. Steve, what do we got to close off this first side of the album?
Open the Boxotosis number 2. Boxotosis.
Lando Bouncy! I open a box of imperial stuff, and to my surprise, I found 75 warriors, with shields. I open a box of imperial love, and to my surprise, I found 25 warriors with ribbons. Lando tolerant saints like me, with good word for everybody. Everybody. I found imperial ribbon. I opened
What do you got for this?
Open the box. What kind of box is this? What do you think's inside?
From my knowledge, I kind of take it as the cigarette box, but that's just the straightforward one because it's not as fun as like a very I don't know, a very intriguing, mysterious box there's something in there. There's something in there that might be sinister.
Do British cigarettes have 25 in them? Us Americans are getting gypped off by 5?
There's a special type of cigarette that I read that may have existed that had 25, and that was his. It had the shields too, which kind of makes you think of like the little cigarette packing protector. That's their shield, in the box. But the thing is, I have strong feelings about this one just because of the chorus. The open the box, open the box, open the goddamn box. The way it's delivered, the way it's the same throughout the whole song, it kind of takes it down a notch for me as far as the quality. I don't like that delivery. I don't think it's
I think it works. I think it works well almost as a palate cleanser before you're about to flip it over.
see.
Um,
I get that, but I think it's a good song. I like the vagueness of it. I like the vagueness of the box. I like that. I wish that Mark was just saying the chorus. If it was Mark's voice and he was doing it a little different every time, which he would, and if he was doing it with his delivery, which would have an automatic, elevated presence to it,
Yeah.
it would be better. Just the same it's almost like a mundane thing. It's kind of a hollow delivery. It's trying to be aggressive, but we know it's not. It's like it just takes a little of the thing off. But then again, like I'm saying, the musically, the lyrics, even though it's not that crazy great lines in here, it's fucking a good song. That chorus takes me out of it, and that's just my own personal ear.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of like when some of the call and response songs just don't hit, right? Like,
Yeah.
you get what they're going for, just didn't. It's not as good as you thought it was.
Yeah. I think that's what it is. I don't want to end on this one. So let's get into side B, Steve.